custom events. In this video, we are going to take a look at the very important concept, custom events. We have seen some events and also understood system events and handled them. Then why this custom event? The key point here is transmission of data. Whenever the transmission of data amongst the components needed, the answer for me is custom events. Okay. Then I have two types of events, custom component event, custom application event. Then we also have the demonstration of component event in this video. Communicating with events, application events and component events. Let's understand what are these. The framework uses event-driven programming. We write handlers that respond to interface events as they occur. The events may or may not have been triggered by user interaction. In the Lightning component framework, events are fired from JavaScript controller actions. We have client-side JavaScript controller. There we are going to fire these custom events. And events are going to have attributes. Events can contain attributes, means our purpose is that we are going to have attributes of any type, string type, integer type, or set of or list of type. And we are going to set that attribute and fire. Then the handler is going to get the parameter. Events are going to be declared by using ara::event tag. We have seen ara::component, ara::application, like that ara::event. And the resource is going to have the extension .evt, like .cmp, .app, .css. We are going to have .evt for the event. And they can have one of two types, the type component level, the type application level. Component event is fired from an instance of a component. A component event can be handled by the component which is firing it, or a component in the containment hierarchy that receives this event. The application event is nothing but publish, subscribe. I am going to talk. Whoever wants to listen, they can listen. Only one thing, like television broadcasting. An application event is fired from an instance of component, like component event only. But any component or the components which are having handlers, means ready to listen and to get parameter and to handle the way they want, will be notified. This is about application event. I don't want to go deeper part of concept, right? Just do the things and understand the things. Our theme is learning while developing. Okay, let's understand the press event in UI::button component. Okay, so this is not in my hand to go deeper into the UI::button. I can't see the logic because it's a standard component. You have used one event press. When the press event is fired, you have a handler in your client-side JavaScript controller. Okay, let's assume presumption. Press is an event. Okay, you have embedded it in UI::button component. Button is a component, and this UI button component you have put as a child in your custom component. So your custom component is the parent. A parent is having a child component which is firing press, and when the press is fired, you have a handler in parent component. So that happened. Let's see this small thing. This is volunteer list app as usual. What I am doing, I'm going to Lightning tab, and I have events here, event log, one tab, a recording button, start recording. So that is red symbol, stop. So you can toggle between start and stop. This is clearing the events and application level events, component level events, and the events that are not handled. Okay, so I am going to put app and component. Okay, I want component event only because button UI::press is a component event. Anyhow, put app events, component events, then change. Oh, sorry, here not is click change, no? Okay, instead of button press, let's talk about select change. CMP, you see, CMP, what's it? Component event. ara::waiting, application event, component event, value change, component event, done waiting, application event. So developer, while doing debugging, we will come to Lightning Inspector, Salesforce Lightning Inspector, and coming to the event log, and you can see what are the events fired, whether application level event or component level event. So instead of UI::button, I have shown you UI select, and instead of press event, I have shown you change event. Okay, what we will do, let's have the demonstration of component event. The child is going to fire by setting one parameter, and the parent is going to handle the child's event and get the parameter. For the demonstration purpose, let's take one application and component event app, and let me have component event child fires, parent handles. So let's see creating an event. Come new lightning event. For example, greeting event. What you see, RA colon event, well, and starting and ending. Type application or component. The value I'm giving is component. So there might be enum values application and component. So I'm taking component level. Here it is going to have attribute greet message of type string. This attribute, whatever and however we have used on our components, the same thing. The purpose is transmitting from component to component. It is the key point. Okay, my greeting event is ready. So what the child is going to do? It is going to declare that I am going to fire an event. I am going to fire, or I may fire, and give some user defined name, GRTEVT. Greeting event, this is the name by which reference you are going to fetch in the client side controller. Then type is default namespace C:, greeting. This is the event. Good. So what does it mean? It's going to fire. This component is going to fire. Let's have a small input. Type equals to text, label, enter message, lightning. This SLDS part we are going side by side. Well, the component event is there. So what my purpose here, the user is going to enter some text in the input text. Once clicking on the button, do fire is going to be invoked. In that, we are going to fire this event by setting one parameter attribute. For this, let me also have an attribute message MSG. Good. Come to the controller, do fire. So here, what is the user defined name you have given? GRTEVT. Set parameter or parameters. Okay. So whoever enters here, let it be stored here. e.msg, and I am fetching it and setting it as a parameter to my event. What I have to say? I have to say fire it. Fire method. Say. Okay. The child component is there with one attribute message. Well, the user is entering some text over there, and clicking on the button do fire is called. In the do fire, I am taking the instance of event, that is nothing but GRTEVT, the GRTEVT of nothing but greeting, and setting parameter whatever the user has entered and firing it. Good. What next? Let the parent handle it. Right. Come to the parent component. This is the child component, and this has an event GRTEVT. Actually, this is not the event. Event is greeting, but you have defined one name, GRTEVT. Once it is fired, you have a handler. Now come to the controller of the parent component, which is handling. Right, only this much. Here put, let's see as the whole. Why SLDS styles are not coming? I have to extend. Fine. Child fired, parent handled. Good. So the child has fired, the parent has handled properly. What next? The parent has to get parameter. Come to the parent's controller. Here, event reference. Now we are using event reference using a standard method. Get param, greet message, and let me use it on my markup. As a developer, I am printing it on JavaScript console. Save it. Have the updated preview. Right. So this is the way how a component level event works. What we have done, we have had an event of type component, and one attribute is there. So the firing component means the child component is having one attribute and setting that attribute to the event and firing it. Then parent has handled it and got the parameter using get parameter, means get param method. The key point is the child fires, the parent handles. In the next video, let's see the app event. The most awaited concept may not be for you, but as a facilitator, I need to demonstrate and explain more about this app event, because this is going to change your Lightning career. Okay, in the next video, let's see the app event.